So guys, it's straight updates, but this is how we're going. About 2 hours later, you can see this is the time, and this is our profit. So right now, I heard that FOMC is gonna happen in any minute. So for Euro USD, it's not really going in our favor, and then for AUD USD, it's going perfectly in our favor. So let's see how FOMC is gonna sweep us. Alright guys, so it's 1 minute more. 6:59 for FOMC to happen. I'm having a bad network. Ladies and gentlemen, so FOMC is happening right now. FOMC is happening right now.
Gold is gonna sell for now. That's it.
So this is Habbyfx live, although I'm having some serious network issue because it's raining right now.
But right now, don't sell yet. Don't sell yet. It's better to wait for what's it called. And just jump into the impulse mode.
To be honest, it's really amazing how I cut that video because I knew it happened at the last or dying minute. But don't worry, I'm here to teach you how I and Habbyfx cut that trade in perfect precision from my Forex time frame right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you come to my screen here, this is gold XAU USD. I've done my analysis on gold. I'm expecting some buys. But then again, let me explain basically how the analysis was done. It was a very fast analysis. I'm going to analyze XAU USD, as you can see on my watch list, XAU USD, AUD USD, USD CHF, and then Euro USD. These are the 4 pairs. My favorite is USD CHF. Stay tuned. So we're going to make use of the Habbyfx buy low and sell high strategy. Now, if we come to a higher time frame, now we can see that the gold market has been on a buy for a very, very, very long time. And I've made previous videos about gold where I said buy gold. From when gold was about $2,000, now gold is literally about approaching 4K. And I believe that gold will go higher. So, I mean, I'm still going to say the exact same thing. Buy gold. But then again, now if we look at gold, gold has just been on an uptrend. Now, there's something called higher highs and higher lows. When the market goes like this is where we're meant to sell. When the market comes like this is where we're meant to buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and buy. And up we go. So this is how the market moves. So this is where we're meant to buy. This is where we're meant to buy. This is where we're meant to buy. Right here. And this is where we're meant to buy. It's the exact same motion repeated over and over and over again. And then this is where we're meant to sell. Let's change that to red so you're going to see it and capture it better. This is where we're meant to sell, and also this is where we're meant to sell. So basically, that is just how the Forex market works, especially with Habbyfx's strategy. The blue lines are where we're meant to buy, and the red lines are where we're meant to sell. So with this, let me delete all this. So with this, we now really understand how the buy high, how the buy low and sell high concept actually works. So when it comes to the Forex market, your question would now be, when will I know when the high is over or the low is over, or maybe a new low has started? And it's very clear. Just copy from the market. Look at what the market is doing. Now, we could explain this on a different pair better, but we've already started with gold, so let's explain. Now, when it comes to gold, XAU USD, this is the weekly, right? Now, from the weekly is on an uptrend, no cap, no doubt. Now, if we come down to the daily, now this is where the real deal is. Now, if we come down to the daily, where are the high points in the daily? This is the high point. So this is where we're meant to be going for a sell. And I actually took a sell right here a few months ago. This is another high point. This is where we're meant to be going for sells. and this is another high point where we're meant to be going for sells. This is another high point where we're meant to be going for sells. The reds are the high point. Then the blues are going to be the low points where we're meant to be going for buys. This is a low point. We're meant to be going for buys here at this blue, and every other blue again. These are places where we're meant to be going for buys. So ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to be understanding the market structure before we now know the highs and the lows where we're meant to buy from. Now, in terms of market structure, this is what we have here from the market. These are lows, these are highs. We need to look at the most recent high and the most recent low. And then when we say the most recent high does not mean the highest high overall. No, it means the most recent high in the market where the market has taken its high. Now, I'm going to add it like this. Now, in this market, where is the most recent high? From this Forex market, the most recent high is right here, where the wick actually is. That's the most recent high. And then where's the most recent low? Right here, where the wick actually is. Now, this could look easy for you because I've marked it out already. Let's go to a different pair where I've not marked anything out. Let's go to AUD card. Now, let's say we're working with AUD card, right? So, from AUD card, let us delete everything in which we have. Now we have a clear screen from AUD card, and literally everything is so clean on AUD card. Now from AUD card, we can see that it's a naked chart. So if I would ask you, is AUD card on a downtrend or on an uptrend? This is a high, this is a higher low, this is a higher high, this is a higher low, this is a higher high. But now this is a higher low. But now remember, this higher low does not break below this higher low. So this is the most recent lower low, and then this is the most recent lower high. Now from what we're seeing, it now seems like the market now breaks above this lower high. Automatically the market is on an uptrend because it has broken above the lower high. And listen, let this get into your understanding. Once the market breaks above the lower high, it is a change of structure automatically. Now we're going to mark this out as a change of structure. Now the change of structure or the change of course was not solidified, because what happened next, it was a direct break to the bottom all of a sudden. So this was a direct break to the bottom all of a sudden. Now first things first, we need to know where is the new lower high. Here is the new lower high. But then again, something happened. So where is the new lower low? Here is the new lower low. And after this lower low, where is the new lower high? Right here where the market comes back, here is the new lower high. So because here is the new lower high, so we're going to bring this here. So in AUD card, at this point in time, this is the most recent low, and then this is the most recent high. So on the daily time frame, AUD card is actually bearish on the daily time frame. I really hope you understand all I'm explaining right now. But then on the daily time frame, remember it's on the daily time frame. And then on the 4 hours, now just to make it clear, on the daily time frame, unless this market breaks above or below, then we're going to know that the market has done a change of structure. If it breaks above, it is now on a bullish market. Or then if it breaks below, it is now on a bearish market. If it breaks above or below this space, which here is the lower low, the most recent lower low, and here is the most recent lower high. And if it breaks above, it's on an uptrend. If it breaks below, it's on a downtrend. Simple. But currently it's still on a downtrend, right? So if we go into the 4 hours time frame. Now let's forget about everything I said about the daily time frame. The daily time frame, remember, is a bearish market. But now the 4 hours time frame could be different. Let's see what the 4 hours time frame is doing. Now, starting to count from here where the market is actually visible. Let's delete some of this. Now, starting to count from here where the market is actually very visible. Now we can see this is a high, this is a higher low, which now is the most recent low. And it does some consolidations here, so we can say this is the next higher high, the next higher low, the next higher high. Was a new higher low created? Yes, right here. But was a new higher high created? No. So was there a break of the previous higher low before the previous higher high? No. So you can say this is the most recent higher low. Right here is the most recent higher low. And then right here is the most recent higher high. So then the 4 hours is on a buy, but then the daily is on a sell. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Then when 2 time frames are on different directions, then the next time frame would judge, because you need to get at least 2 time frames in sync before you do whatever you want to do. Then maybe we can now proceed to the 1 hour time frame. Now, what is the 1 hour time frame telling us? Is the market on a buy or on a sell? Now, we can still work with the 1 hour time frame from anywhere you can work with, which I think we're going to work with just this piece of the market. So we can see the market is making higher high, higher low, higher high. This is a change of structure because it breaks this previous low. So automatically this is on a downtrend. But then it comes back again into the trend, and then we can see higher low and then a higher high. And then it breaks the structure again, but then it comes back into the structure, and then it breaks the structure again, and now this is where it is. So now the question is the market on an uptrend or on a downtrend? Where is the most recent high? Here is the most recent high. And where is the most recent low? Here is the most recent low. So if this is the most recent high and this is the most recent low, let's do the analysis again so you're going to understand it this time around. So this is a low, this is a high, this is a higher low, a bit higher high, a break below. So right here automatically the market is on a downtrend automatically, but then it comes back again to an uptrend, uptrend, breaks below. So this is automatically a downtrend. So this is a lower high, this is a lower low, this is a lower high, a break again below. Now remember, this was the previous low. This was the previous low, but because the market broke again, so now this is the new low. And if this is the new low, it means it's going to have a new high, which is right here. So unless, or let's still leave it right here. So unless the market breaks above or below here, the market is on a downtrend. I don't know if that makes sense to you. The market is on a downtrend for AUD card. So let us go back to XAU USD, which is gold, in which we're working on. Now back to gold on a daily time frame. Let us see if gold is actually on an uptrend or on a downtrend. Now I have deleted everything. Now let's mark it out. This is the most recent low. If this is the most recent low, where's the most recent high? The most recent high is obviously here. But then again, it makes a higher high and a higher low. So we're going to move it. So this is the most recent low. So where is the most recent high? The most recent high is automatically here. Now, if this is the most recent high, where's the next place? Let's move together. This is the most recent low, and then this is the most recent high. And then what happens? You see, there is a break under. So this is a change of direction or change of structure. So this actually is a change of structure. We can see this is a clear change of structure, because at this point the market breaks under the let me zoom in so it's going to be more visible. Yeah. So at this point we see that the market breaks under. So then again, instead of the market still going up, it goes down. So it means that automatically at this point the market is on a downtrend. But then the downtrend was not solidified. So it means the market went higher. So it went back to an uptrend. So this is the most recent high, and then this is the most recent low. Just to zoom out a bit so you're going to understand what we're working with. Now at this point, where's the most recent high? Now up next, this is the most recent high, and then here is the most recent low. So it's still on an uptrend. Now did this high break above this high? No. So it is still here still holds the most recent high, right? But along the line, we now see that this low breaks below. So this is another change of structure. We're going to get this. So this is another change of structure. So we can see that there's another change of structure here. Now, as there's a change of structure, it means that automatically this is a downtrend. Now, if this is the new low, so it means where is the new high? The new high would obviously be here. So ladies and gentlemen, here is the new high. But now this new high was taken out on multiple occasions. So this new high was broken above right here. So if this new high was broken above, where is the new low? Now remember, this is another change of structure. This is another change of structure. So this also is the most recent low. And then this is a break also, and then this is a break also above. So then this is now the most recent high, and then this is the most recent low. So as long as the market is within this range, that is what you're going to call a ranging market. As long as the market is within these two spaces, however, it could come here to make higher highs and higher lows within this ranging market. But still remember, it is still a ranging market on the 4 hours time frame. Right? Very clear. It is still a ranging market on the 4 hours time frame. But then if at any point the market breaks below this point, if at any point in time the market decides to break below this point, automatically it's on a downtrend. Automatically, this is a change of structure. Automatically, this becomes a change of structure. Automatically, at once, it becomes a change of structure. Although, if the market now breaks above and continues, it is not a change of structure, it is just a higher high. You should remember there's a difference between change of structure. Change of structure is when the market has gone towards a different direction. But then the market could make a higher high, breaking the previous high. So this will now be a new high at this point. But as long as the market is still within this range, we are on a ranging market. If the market breaks above, a new high has been created. It's still moving to the upside. If the market breaks below, a new low has been created, which is a change of structure. And all of a sudden, the market starts going to the downside. I hope that is clear. So from our analysis, this is the latest high, and then this is the most recent low. So as long as, now remember, the market has been on an uptrend, okay? So it's on an uptrend. And as long as it remains in this place, it is a ranging market, but it is still an uptrend. As long as it does not break below here. Once it breaks below here, then it becomes a downtrend. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to have this line here. Now this line makes it clear. I'm not really a fan of trend lines. But we can see this trend line makes it clear that the market is actually on an uptrend. So now we're going to be looking for key levels, support and resistance zone of where the market has respected on multiple occasions. Now remember, this is gold. So where are the levels that seems like the market has respected? Let's mark them out. I think this is a key level, and this is the level in which the market is currently at. I think this is another key level. Yeah, this is another key level. Now the key levels of gold are, they may not be so clear 100%. This is another key level, but I don't really want to hold firm on that. But now we know that the market is on an uptrend. So for gold, we're going to be taking buys on gold. Gold is very clean, very sweet buy setup. So that is how, ladies and gentlemen, we ended up for a buy, because we saw that overall the market has been on an uptrend. And because the market has been on an uptrend, then we're looking for buying opportunities. So we can either take the market here, or maybe just in case we want to be a little bit conservative, we can wait for the market to come down here, in which would make perfect sense, and then we can now take the market from here. And I think here is going to be better because it's going to make perfect sense. But then again, we're going to see if the market is going to give us some entry signal, or rather we just enter the market from here. That is for gold, ladies and gentlemen. But I think the market is going to go up from here because of this double top here. Now if I would break a little bit down, we can see the double top that was formed here. The origin of the double top was here. But if the origin of the double top, maybe if this market moved down all the way to this point, and then this was the origin of the double top, and then it bounced and made a double top. Then I would expect it to push back down here before it comes to the upside. Then I would now put my entry right here. As we can see, this is the origin of the double top. So it made 1, 2, and I believe the double top has ended once it came here. So most likely we have potentials to now push to the downside. So ladies and gentlemen, that is for gold. We're going to be expecting buys for gold, and I don't really like dwelling too much on gold. So this would basically be how the trade would be. If it kicks in below this, then we'll just step out of the trade. That is for XAUSD. Now moving on to AUDUSD. From what we've learned from XAUSD, let's put that into AUDUSD. Now back down to AUDUSD. Now AUDUSD looks a little bit more complicated, and you could be wondering, how are we going to navigate through this? Yes, you are a forex trader, so we can do this together. Now let's start from here, right? Now from AUDUSD, if this is the lowest part of the market, where is the next? Where is the high? And then this is the high. And then we move on, this is the low. And then we move. This is the new high. And then we move, this is the new low. And then we move, this is the new high. So ladies and gentlemen, from here, what happens? The new low now breaks below the previous low. Automatically, that is what? A downtrend. But then it was not solidified. So because it was not solidified, we're not really going to count it. But then, where is the new high? There is no high that has broken. So this is more like a consolidation. So you can see all through these points, no high broke above. So all through these points, the market has been on a ranging market. This is a consolidation. But the new high that finally broke the market was here, right here. So this was the new high that broke the market. And then the new low was right here. And then it made a new higher high that broke the previous. And then we can now see a new new low that broke the previous low. So now this is the new low, and now because this low is actually solidified, and then this is the new lower high, so automatically, ladies and gentlemen, this is a downtrend. From here, you can see here, you can see the market from here is actually a downtrend. Yep. So if this is the new low, this is the new lower high, then we can now bring it down. This is the new lower low, this is the new lower high, this is the new lower low, and then this is where the market now breaks up. So now the new high now breaks below the previous high. Now this is an uptrend. You see, that's how complicated the market is, and a whole lot of people actually don't realize this. That's why a whole lot of people lose a whole lot of money from their forex market. And listen, if you think what I'm saying is false, then fine, you can go with your own instincts. But I assure you, you are not learning the false thing. And then we continue to having another low here. And then we see it was not broken till this point. Until this point. Now this is the new high. And then this is the new low. And now this high was not broken again till this point. So this is the newest high. Now if this is the newest high, where is the newest low? That's a question you have to ask yourself. If this is the latest high, where is the latest low? Now because it is an uptrend, this is the latest low, right? But then again, it has been here until, so it started going down, and it seemed like it wanted to break below this low, and then all of a sudden it broke below this low. So if this is the new low, so if this is the new low, where is the new high? Now the new high is still about to be formed, but now we can leave the previous high. This was the previous high. So this is the new low, and this is the previous high. Ladies and gentlemen, automatically, Euro USD is on a downtrend. Automatically, Euro USD is on a downtrend from the 4 hours time frame. So from the 4 hours time frame, we can see that Euro USD is on a downtrend. Now, if we now go to the 1 hour time frame, The 1 hour time frame, I'm having a count. I'm going to most likely be having a counter trend trade, because from the 1 hour time frame we can see there's like an inverse head and shoulder, in which we can see like right here, it's like a head and shoulder pattern. There is this head and shoulder pattern that is forming right here. Left shoulder, this is head, right shoulder, and then break above and retest. So we can see like a head and shoulder pattern. That is why, yes, I know it is a counter trend trade, but I'm kind of expecting some buys from this trade from AUD USD. But it's not really my most solid trade. Now my most solid trade is USD CHF. Now, ladies and gentlemen, USD CHF is a very concrete trade, specifically because if we check what has been happening from USD CHF, USD CHF is a trade I've anticipated for a very long time. Now take a look at this. If we take this down and we trace it down, this is 2023 October. Then right here we trace it down, this is 2024. Right here we trace it down, this is 2025. And you see, whenever the market gets to this zone, it will always pull back down to the downside. Whenever the market comes to this key level, it always push it down. It came here, pushed it down, came here, pushed it down, came here again, pushed it down, and then it broke below. And as it has broken below, we don't need to do all those analysis over and over again for you to understand, because I believe you already understand. And then as it has broken below, it has come to this key zone to retest, and then it has pushed to the downside. So automatically we know that the market is on a downtrend. So we should be looking for sales on this market. Now proceeding to the lower time frame, this is the 4 hours time frame. Now also from the 4 hours time frame, we can see lower lows, lower highs. I mean, it is basically doing the exact same thing, lower lows and lower highs, in which I don't really need to start going over that over and over again, in which you can do that yourself in your private time. This is the lowest low and this is the lowest high, because it's on a downtrend. Lower low, lower high. What's next? Obviously back down. So now we broke below this consolidation zone, this zone where the market has been clustered for a long time right now. The market has literally been clustered here for a while, and then we finally broke below it with this very ginormous move. So I'm expecting the market to retest to this move, this key level, and then push it back to the downside. So I think USD CHF is my most solid trade, and USD CHF could play out, because I'm about to go to bed. USD CHF could play out before I go to bed and wake up. But then even if that is for USD CHF, we now have Euro USD. Ladies and gentlemen, Euro USD is another solid trade, and I'm expecting buys on Euro USD. But then again, I'm just expecting Euro USD to either come into this zone and then we take it to the upside, or maybe it could pull back down a little bit further to this zone. Bye for now. Alright guys, so this is trade update. So guys, the time is 7:05 p.m. Tuesday 24th of June, and then we can see I took the trade on GBP NZD. I got this from Alex's signal from GBP NZD. Now we can see I entered the trade right here, is going towards my direction, and then another trade in which I took, in which was my own analysis, was XAU USD. Now XAU USD has not really gone too far. I took the trade from around here. I was expecting the trade to enter from this point, but I mean, I saw a break under, and I was still predicting either I enter the trade here or I wait for the trade to come down here to enter. And I didn't see any entry signal here, so I had to wait for the trade to come down here, and immediately it got down here, I entered the trade. So we're this far. I know we're not really going to expect any momentum from now, because this is more like an Asian session. But then along the line, once we get into London session, we can expect a pull up all the way to the upside. So this is what we're floating. This is for GBP NZD, and then for GBP NZD, and also for XAU USD. For XAU USD,